Star Wars Celebration 2023 came and went this past weekend, giving us some cool trailers and announcements on the future of the franchise. And in this video, I'm gonna give my quick thoughts and impressions on the biggest takeaways that we've got from Celebration this year. And the first one to talk about is no doubt has to be the Ahsoka trailer that was dropped. Mainly due to the fact that this was the only trailer released to the public, unlike the Andor Season 2, Skeleton Crew, and the Acolyte trailers, which were only seen behind closed doors at the event. But yeah, what can I say about the Ahsoka trailer? It looks great and definitely shows the level of quality that we expect from this upcoming series. Although, admittedly, on my first viewing of it, I wasn't particularly sure what to really think of it. And that's mainly due to the fact that it ended up being so vastly different than anything I expected. As I went into the trailer expecting to see shots of Ahsoka and Sabine going around different planets, like say in the unknown regions, searching for Ezra. Instead, what we got kinda seems like the opposite of that. Like basically a canon version of the Legends Heir to the Empire, where there's some kind of threat to the New Republic by Thrawn that Ahsoka will be helping them to fight off against. And as well, a lot of lightsaber users, which feels so weird considering that this takes place some years after the Return of the Jedi. And really, how many lightsaber users during that time were there other than Luke Skywalker? Like at one instance, there seems to be like there's an Inquisitor, which makes me scratch my head as how in the world an Inquisitor survived this long past the Empire? Like, how were they not defeated by Luke by this point? And as for the mystery Sith or fallen Jedi Master and his apprentice, that goes double, as it only makes me question on where these two were during the entire original trilogy. Like, let's say that they're Sith, for example. You can't tell me that they went through all of these years undetected by Palpatine. It really doesn't make any sense. Yeah, their orange lightsabers look pretty dope, but at the same time, their existence is just mind-boggling to me. So having said that, I'm really hoping all of this gets explained well, and maybe these two and the Inquisitor are people who existed in, say, the past. And somehow through the world between worlds, Ahsoka brings them into her present timeline, essentially screwing things over and I guess having to put her search for Ezra on hold while she helps the New Republic clean up her mess. Which, if that's the case, then it looks like we'll be spending the season chasing after these Force users instead of searching for Ezra. And if it's done right, then I won't mind it as much. Also, while I like the casting for Sabine, I'm not crazy about her outfit here. As, I don't know about you, but she looks drastically different from what Sabine is supposed to look like. Not only is she not wearing her Mandalorian armor, but she's got long hair too. Which, mind you, is the exact opposite of what her hair looked like at the end of Rebels, which, granted, I can't say I'm a fan of that look either, but for canon purposes, it makes way more sense for her to have short hair than this really long hair. And speaking about appearances, I actually hated how they continue to use a young Mon Mothma for this series. As well, it made perfect sense to use O'Reilly for the young Mon for everything before A New Hope, like Rogue One and Andor, but to keep using her here now post Return of the Jedi, especially not even trying to age her? Well, in my opinion, sorry, but that's just stupid. How does Mon go from looking older in Return of the Jedi to now younger after a few years, which, again, that makes zero sense and made me almost facepalm while watching this trailer. Still, all of that in my initial expectations set aside, this trailer does look good, but at the same time is no doubt confusing. So as long as they manage to answer all of this well and the writing is good, then I won't have a problem whatsoever. And who knows, this may even turn out to be better than The Mandalorian, which compared to Season 3, that's not much, to really aim for. And also apparently, Rosario Dawson claims that Ahsoka will only be 1 season long, which I personally highly doubt that will end up being the case, but we'll see. The other big news that came out from Celebration was the reveal of the upcoming 3 new films, all of which will take place in different eras. The first one, directed by James Mangold, is to be set during the dawn of the Jedi, and will explore the origins of the Jedi. Most likely, I'm thinking telling the story of the Prime Jedi from the symbol seen in The Last Jedi, and maybe how Ahch-To was formed or settled. And this is a bit tricky to talk about or even imagine, as this is completely uncharted territory, and I'm worried if this isn't done well, then it may hurt the movies that come after it in some way. Although, on the bright side, the decision to get a director like Mangold to helm this project is an absolute home run by Lucasfilm in my opinion. He's got a clean and great-looking resume that I'm sure if anyone has a shot of doing this right, it should be him. The second new film will be directed by Dave Filoni and will be set during the New Republic era. It's said to be the culminating events of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, which also has me a bit worried, as does this mean that we won't truly get a proper ending for either series? And instead be only left off with a cliffhanger in both with a stay tuned for the movie kind of deal, where we have to wait like 6 years to see Thrawn finally be defeated? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it will be great, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how to feel about the idea of having a movie act as the finale for several TV shows. Maybe it can work, maybe not, I don't know. Finally, the third movie, directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, will see Rey rebuilding her Jedi Order after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. And don't get me wrong, while I like the sequel trilogy more than most people, and I'm interested to see the state of the galaxy after The Rise of Skywalker, I'm at the same time not exactly convinced by the director choice here, especially looking at her resume, which seems like it's one of the last people you'd pick to film a full feature-length Star Wars film. The only somewhat relevant, and even that is a stretch, material on a resume to this is the Ms. Marvel show. And well, suffice to say, that isn't anything to write home about. So, because of that, I'm 50-50 on this before I see more. But hopefully all of this does turn out to be amazing and great, as well, that's what I'm counting on. The only question is, when exactly will we see all of these movies come out? We also got a teaser for Season 2, well, technically called Volume 2 of Visions, and I gotta say, after the first time watching it, I did not like it all that much, and that's mainly because I went into it expecting to see, well, anime. And out of all of it, there seems to be only 1 or 2 episodes that will actually look like anime. And well, this did heavily disappoint me. However, there is a reason to this, as I found out only after watching the trailer, and that turns out that unlike Season 1 of Visions, Season 2 will instead be done by different studios outside of Japan and around the world. Which, yeah, explains why so much of the art here doesn't look anything remotely anime. I think out of all 9 episodes, I'm only really interested in these 3 stories, which are shown on the screen here, and a lot of that is based strictly just on the art style alone. Because, yeah, for the rest of the episodes, I'm not feeling the art style there whatsoever, and, well, that's fine. Because, hey, while it doesn't appeal directly to me, I'm sure it will to someone else, and who knows? Maybe the stories in some of those will be so good that I'll end up liking them too, despite their outlandish art styles and character designs. Anything is possible. In addition to this, we also got confirmation of a Tales of the Jedi Season 2, which is definitely cool to hear and also pretty expected based on just how well the first season did. I'm only now hoping that this time around they have the episodes here be just a tad more longer than they were before. As for other animation news, The Bad Batch's Season 3 is coming next year in 2024. So not that long of a wait, but as it turns out, this will be the final season of the show, which is not something I thought would be happening. For some reason I figured we'd be getting 4 to 5 seasons of this, but no, we're ending at Season 3. So expect this season to be intense and feature a lot less filler. Which, you know, is not a bad thing at all. And that just about does it for all of the major reveals coming from Celebration 2023, which I think is for sure a step above 2022's Celebration. Not only was there a little something for everyone here, but we actually got a lot to look forward to in the coming years. But as for whether a lot of that will be worth the wait, we'll just have to wait and see.